She kept calling me and begging me forgiveness, telling me she was so confused and that she wanted me only. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to do a story titled, I broke up with my girlfriend of 5 to 6 years over an emotional affair. Did I do the right thing? I need to hear people other than my mom and dad. And a shout out to Scott for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a young guy. He's only 22 years old. He's still in college, who has, for all intents and purposes, become R-pilled. This guy has recently dumped his girlfriend after she's been definitely up to no good, and repeatedly been up to no good after this guy found out, and he's done with her. But of course, she's having a full-blown meltdown and trying to make him out to be the villain and all these things. It's ridiculous. And like I said, this guy has become R-pilled. But as you can imagine, he has all sorts of people having different opinions on this, and he wants to hear from outside sources other than his friend circle, the college kids, and mom and dad. He's wanted this girl for 5 to 6 years. She was like his high school girlfriend. And so, as you can imagine, when you're 22 years old and you've been with a girl for 5 to 6 years, that's a large percentage of your life. And you're used to having that person in your life, whether it's a guy or a gal, depending on who you're talking to. And it's very hard to move on and let go. But this guy is, and that's a really good thing. And once again, it's a perfect example of once a cheater, always a cheater, and you need to cut ties. And of course, he's seeing firsthand the crap gals pull when they get caught. So it starts off, says here, I'm 22 years old, and I broke up with my girlfriend after years of dating. I thought I was going to marry her, and we were together since high school, COVID, and most of my bachelor's degree, like 6 years. Hear what he said there? He thought he was going to marry her. So many guys, and I've been there when I was younger, thought the same thing with their first serious girlfriend from high school. She had a friend that she made around 2 years ago, and I caught her sexting with him 2 weeks ago. Goodbye. That's why you need to draw boundaries early on about guy friends. I love her so much, and I tried to forgive her because I am no innocent soul, but I have never cheated on her. I had temptations like any other human being, but I would never do anything to hurt the relationship. Well, good for him. If he's a young guy and he's a catch, of course he's had other girls like him, but he didn't cheat on her. Unlike the girl, she was having her cake and eat it too with this guy. Well, apparently after I caught her, she told me this has been going on for several months, since June and July. And she told me that he declared feelings for her, and she just went on with it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not quite buying that it was just chatting and texting and emotional. And this is a so-called friend of hers? Really? That's nice. She said, hey, this has been going on since June and July, in terms of instead of being a couple weeks, but still. Nope, goodbye. She claimed it was never going to be something physical. Sure, honey. Really? I see her nose growing like Pinocchio. Pinocchio. It was only texts, and they did not see each other, naked, etc. But at this point, I don't know what to believe. Well, I decided to give her a shot. After all, relationships are not easy, and I'm a pretty open-minded person, but I set strict boundaries of no contact after I saw that she called him to check up on him. You gave her another shot after that? Smack! Well, remember, he's learning. But do you hear that? Strict no contact. Boundaries. But she called to check up on him. Isn't that interesting? How about calling to check up on this guy? She did that after she swore on my life that she did not contact the dude after I set the boundary. Okay, dude, time to kick her to the curb. Swore on your life, huh? And immediately she's calling him up. I found some deleted messages a few days later that said, I love you, and the dude replied, I love you, and I miss touching myself with you. That's what he fucking said. Okay, brother, it's over now. You tried the forgiveness route. It's not going to work. Well, this honestly broke me even more. I treated that woman like a wife. I gave her everything, solved her problems, and was always kind and sweet and such a gentleman to her, and this is how she paid me by being unfaithful. Welcome to the club. You've been R-pilled. I'm sorry it happened to you, man, but, But you hear that? I'm going to read that again, guys. Treated her like a wife. Gave her everything. Solved her problems. Was kind and sweet and generous and a gentleman with her. Blah, 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 blah. What do you want to bet that guy, and probably other guys that she's liked along the years, didn't do any of that stuff? I mean, it is what it is. Was all that reciprocated? Well, clearly not. Well, I decided to ask for time without her, and I asked for 2 weeks and no contact while I was working things out. No, you shouldn't be asking her. You tell her. And frankly, at this point, there's no. Don't waste your time with a time frame. It's over. I was going to decide to tell her on December 9th that I could not be her boyfriend anymore, but I just couldn't take it anymore. She then sent me 2 emails on Thanksgiving, and the guilt inside me was eating me alive. Why? Why was the guilt eating you alive? I mean, I can understand if being hurt from all this is eating you alive, but guilt? She's the guilty party, bro, not you. I knew that she was delusional and that she thought I was going to give it a shot, but I decided to call it off via email. Ooh, that was going to piss her off. But you know what? If he wants to break up with her and make it official by email, so what? She deserves it. I was very gentle and careful with what I was writing. I never disrespected her, and I wanted to be friends and maintain contact, but she went crazy. Smack! You can't be friends after this. After 5 to 6 years where she was like your wife, so to speak, it's not going to work. And why would you want to be friends with somebody that's screwing you over? But of course she went crazy. She started to argue with me, and I got mad, and it went back and forth. I blocked her, and she started saying this is unfair via the phone call. Unfair? How about it's unfair to this guy? She was cheating on him, amongst many other things. It takes a lot of effort to sneak around behind his back since June or July. And none of us is buying that she wasn't getting physical with this guy. But of course, always the man's the bad guy here. She stated that I told her I was giving her a shot and started to try and use words I said and didn't say to use it against me. And I got mad at her and told her everything I did for her and what my family did for her. Hear that? See, guys? She's only 22, and she's pulling all the bullshit that you hear about that gals can do in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Twisting things around, using it against him. This is why you don't argue and fight with a woman. You just walk away. The silence makes them crazy. Let's see, what else? Well, I decided to, because of me, she was who she was. My family even gave her a job, and I felt bad for her calling out on that because we did it out of love for her, not as favors. I decided to block her everywhere because she kept calling and begging me for forgiveness again and again, telling me she was confused and that she wanted me only. Honey, your actions prove otherwise, that you're anything but confused, and your actions prove that you want more than me. She begged and harassed me so much, I started to feel like she was genuinely sad, and I still do because I started having flashbacks of our memories together and how happy we were. Smack! Don't fall for it, dude. Don't fall for it. That's what she's trying to do, okay? And a lot of people will look at the past through rose-colored glasses. Don't do that. She's shown you who she is. And who knows what's been going on over the years. Well, everybody at university looked up to us as the so-called perfect relationship. Now to the point here. I don't know if people will see emotional affairs as the same as physical, but she and he both assured me nothing physical happened. Because I also confronted the dude because I was sad and I thought he was my friend. Oh, you thought he was your friend. Now, obviously, this guy wasn't his friend first, but they obviously all were acquainted and got along. No. When it comes to young pussy, there's no friendships there. This guy was obviously just waiting around for his turn. And clearly, for whatever reason, she decided to go with this guy. Whether this guy was just a friend that's been in the friend zone forever and she got bored and she was going for him, or she saw this guy as the side chatter Tyrone. I don't know. But regardless, I would tell that guy, you can have her. She's all yours, man. I feel like my family sees this as not a big deal, and they are trying to convince me to somehow forgive her, but man, I really love that woman, and I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. I don't know if I should leave and never look back. I'm generally lost. Well, your family's saying that because they're so used to her being around. They've known her for like 5, 6 years. They probably know her family. They probably saw her as a daughter, and they probably are thinking, oh, things can happen, stuff like that, but you know deep down what to do. Well, today I saw her in class next to me, and I said hello, but she doesn't want to speak to me. Last I heard about her, she was crying for the past 3 to 4 days because she doesn't want to lose me, she claims. Who told you that? Who told you she's been bawling her eyes out for 3 to 4 days? Her friends? She knows how to work you. Remember that. She wants me to give her a shot, and her mom blocked me on social media. She knows she cheated after I told her I was breaking up with her. Really? Her mom blocked you? Not a good way to get in your good graces to take the daughter back. Remember, the daughter is the cheater here, but the mom blocks him. What does that say? You really want to be a part of that family? I also forgot to mention that one time about a month ago, I called the guy about something. I called the guy her living tail, and she got super mad at me and made me apologize and was mad for the entire day while she was having the affair. Interesting. He called the guy her living tail. In other words, he's always like attached to her side like a tail, following her around like a little puppy dog. Yeah, this guy was obviously her little friend, just waiting for his turn. So I guess I'm still processing this. If I don't go back, I just hope to find some woman who doesn't hurt me. Good luck, amigo. It's the second time this has happened to me, but didn't hurt as much when I was younger because it felt like a fake relationship. But this time it does hurt. Now he has a couple little additions here I'm going to read. He says, thank you all for the replies, everyone. I did not expect replies so fast. I was planning on moving on, and I already deleted all the pictures. But I guess she's trying to manipulate me. She absolutely is trying to manipulate your brother. That's what they do. I just got confused because my parents kept telling me to take things slow and don't jump to conclusions so fast. But they are probably as shocked as me. Yeah, that's exactly, they're obviously giving her a pass because they've known her so long. But if she's cheating on you, this ain't girlfriend material. He also says, thanks for the comments and the reality check. I guess I was relapsing and venting at the same time. I decide I will continue to go no contact and ignore her just like she did to me. I'm not going back to that girl. I feel more mature after all this, and at the same time, she's still acting like a little girl. I'm going to head to the gym and focus on my finals. Good, bro. Very mature. Go to the gym. You blow off some steam and focus on your finals. That's your purpose right now, not her. And understandably, that's very hard to do. And all of a sudden, think about this. Many of you guys have been there. You had that girlfriend maybe you had in high school and college for a few years. And if you're honest here and acting like hard asses, you probably thought you were going to marry her. Things didn't work out. And depending on who you are and how close you thought you were with her, that could really upend your quarter, your semester at school, and you'd fuck up all the finals. But this guy's like, nope. Got to go to the finals. Got to take care of business. This is what he's got to do. But again, this is the stuff that turns ordinary good guys into assholes. Or at the very least, are pills guys. There ain't a guy watching this right now that in some way or some degree didn't have experience just like this that made him see the world completely different afterwards, And I'm sure that if I knew everything this guy had been doing with her over the years, the dynamic they had, I'm sure I could see some things that he was doing that didn't help his case. Because he said he made her like his wife and he gave her everything, which is not a good idea. But he's seeing the ugly side of female nature, or the very realistic side of it, quite early on. And if he learns from this, then hopefully he won't make some of the mistakes he's made in the past with her, and he's ready for the future. Because obviously he's a relationship guy. But then again, him getting burned one more time like this, he can go right into becoming a total Chad or Tyrone a-hole. Now, there's more comments in the comment section. People said things and he responds. I'm going to read that. But anyhow, I like this story here because, again, this guy isn't perfect. He's also young. He's 22. If he was 30 in his 30s or 40s and he was trying to do like the no contact thing and maybe thought about giving her a chance, I'd be really ripping on him. But since he's young, he's learning. If he writes in 6 months from now and he says he gave her another chance to cheat on him, then I'm going to be far less merciful. So one guy says here, so the two of you started dating when you were 16, ? It's very rare that an early relationship like that lasts through all the changes that we grow through in our late teens and early to mid-20s. If you're smart, you'll move on and experience life as a single person for a while, date around, and get some experience. Yeah, I agree with that. He needs to be single for a while. Have his last semester in school, maybe fucking bang a few chicks, but focus on his purpose. And this time in his life is the most important to him, setting up how things will go afterwards. And the young guy responds, he says, yeah, 16. I honestly feel more mature since this happened, and I learned so much from this. Good attitude. Another guy says here, several months of sexting and exchanging I love yous is hardly a nothing burger, especially since you've been together so long. Most adults don't get to the point of declaring their love for months without some kind of intimate contact. If your girl and her affair partner somehow manage not to, then that would be rare. Even if they don't do the horizontal bop, they talked about it, fantasized about it together, and emotionally bonded over it. Emotional affairs are just as devastating as physical ones. Don't allow them to dismiss it as anything less. And the young guy responds, "Thanks, I will keep updating. She texted my mom earlier today to get more closure. She begged me on email to stay and give her a shot. And I said I will cut contact, blah, 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 which I think she's doing, but the damage is done. I went to a bar 2 days ago, ate the most awesome burger with fries, had beer, so I'm slowly getting better thanks to my friends. I guess I'm just relapsing, but I'm doing my best not to." Well, great. That's the best you can do. The finals, the gym, go to a bar, have some beers, but don't get too drunk, or otherwise you might do something stupid, and hang out with his brothers. And nothing like a good juicy burger to make you feel better. And last one, this guy says, "It's never the actual cheating act. It's the fact of all the work that goes into keeping it secret." The cheating act is a big deal. You don't want your girl with Chowder Tyrone's dick in her mouth, for God's sakes. But yes, all the lying and sneaking around, that's bad too. The lying to your face, love you this, love you that, while texting someone else the same things and sending them nods back and forth. So that is what you really can't forgive. The deception and never knowing if she can be truthful. You always wait for the news of her cheating again. This is why staying with a cheater does not work, and you never really forget. Just save some time and let her have the other relationship that she's put so much time and energy into and keeping sustaining, all the while lying to your face. Cut it, or the misery you get will be your fault, because you know she lies and cheats and chooses to do so, even though she said she would stop. She can't and won't just end it. Yeah, you notice when she said she swore she wouldn't talk to him and all these things, she's messaging him, "I love yous" and crap. Can't trust her. And the young guy responds, "Yeah, thanks. I guess I was relapsing and I wanted to vent my feelings. I'm never speaking to her again." Okay. Well, that's a good attitude, and we shall see. So anyhow, this is how the R pill guys are born. End of story. We've all been burned. It happens to all of us. But sadly, a lot of guys don't learn. But it sounds like this guy has. So sorry it happened to you, bro. But you know what? You're going to be okay. But focus on yourself. Don't jumping into the relationship. And do not fall for her Waterworks. Do not fall for a bunch of crap and guilt trips from her friends, her family, your family. You do what you know in your heart, in your gut is right. And you're going to be okay. Trust yourself. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. I'm sure you like the video. Share with your friends and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.